Next on the agenda is approval of minutes for September 4th, 2018. If I could have a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under correspondence, I have a few items. The first is a correspondence from Bob Yoder regarding Floyd Park, regarding the WMGK event on October 13th. I believe in years past there's been problems with parking and a little bit of problems going on down there with parking and just a lot of confusion in the area. And what has worked in the past number of years, I believe, was the closing of the gate during the day of the event, but then the gate would be open then again the morning after. He's just asking if that could possibly happen again.
Kevin, I'm going to make a quick note. I was at the Parks and Rec Board meeting last night, and they unanimously voted in favor of closing the gate at that set time and then opening it first thing Friday morning.
It's closing it Friday night, it's done, and reopening Sunday.
Sunday morning, excuse me.
So
Got it?
that'd be like at 6:30? Yeah, I just have one question and comment. Should we put some kind of a notice on the website so people know if they're planning on going to the park, that they should
That was
make it
requested
an
during the
early,
Parks and Rec
make
Board
it an
meeting.
early evening?
Okay.
Okay.
I will put something on the website. Okay.
5 o'clock?
It starts at 5
It
o'clock.
starts at 5,
So an hour or two beforehand.
maybe 4.
Yeah, because if they go in there parking into the grass, you're gonna have people stuck in the guts. A lot of repair.
Is there any way you can put a sign there?
I think we tried one time.
All right, so I'll have the gates closed Friday night and then open them on Sunday.
I think, what did we decide, 4 o'clock? 5 o'clock?
Make it
Well, it starts at 5, say it did beforehand. People are going to show up early.
4 o'clock?
4 o'clock.
On Friday?
Friday night.
Correct.
4 o'clock Friday night, okay?
4 o'clock.
And then Sunday morning open.
Hold on, Dan?
Yeah, it's in Dan Castro. Just a quick question. Have you ever tried in the past posting that would fine and tow the cars away?
We towed them out of there before, it didn't bother them.
So maybe we're not fine.
The only problem is, if there's no one there to watch it, they'll go out through the, into the park and they'll park out in the grass and then we have a mess.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, ultimately, that would be nice to find some way to stop them and so that people could still use the park. But this is the.
It's only one incident for one weekend. I think we can.
You're right.
Linda, did you?
Linda Jansen, Simmons Road. You're saying you're going to be closing the park at 4 o'clock on Friday? The park is open until dusk, sunset. That's what the sign said. Everybody has to be out there when it gets dark. The bonfire at Spring Mountain isn't until Saturday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So why would you close the park in the middle of the day on Friday?
Then they must have meant Saturday instead of Friday.
It's Saturday, right?
It is Saturday.
It's Saturday, so thank you, yeah, if it's Saturday and then open Sunday.
Because I did say Friday.
Yeah, you said you were going to close it at 3 o'clock on Friday, so why would you close it for 2 days for a 6-hour event?
That's not a problem. We can make it Saturday night
Yes,
instead of.
gotcha.
Well, no, I mean, it could just be Friday night or even noon on Saturday. And then that way people want to go down, residents in the morning with their kids and play on the swing sets they could. I believe it was said at the Parks Board meeting that they noticed that people will start arriving maybe around 3 o'clock in the afternoon to park. So I think maybe if you close at noon and, make the vehicles park at the trailhead, I mean, the park itself is not closed.
Sorry, do we have a park board member here who can clarify what the request is?
I'm Janet Linnell from Meadow Lane. I know we said the park's not closed for people. They can still walk in. They can park up there along the hotel. They just can't pull their car in there anywhere at that point in time.
And really, that lot only holds about 10 or 15 cars, if that.
What?
The lot only holds about 10 or 15.
Yeah, but we know that they were blocking in the Yoder property with those
Yes.
cars, and it was just if there was an emergency, people could not get in and out. So we agreed with whatever it was that Bob suggested.
So we've agreed we're going to close the park at about 3 o'clock on Saturday and reopen again on Sunday morning. Is that going to be sufficient? Yes?
No,
No?
no, the issue was the bonfire Saturday night, and people started showing up before 3 o'clock to find a place to park for it.
And they fill up those lots and then they start
Well, when
parking.
has it been closed in the past? At what time?
I think it closed at 12.
At 12? It closed at 12?
12
You
it is.
know, that would make sense, but the only issue is going to be getting the parking lot empty, because when you have regular people in there, and they happen to be out walking on the trail or something, you go to close the gate, how are they going to get out? That would be a good reason for, to have it closed for the whole entire day on Saturday, like never open it up in the morning. Because
I follow you.
theoretically,
Those
nobody's
cars in
supposed to
there.
be in there overnight, and then in the morning it should be empty, and that would be the time to close it.
So then what we'll do is we'll close it Saturday morning and open it up Sunday morning. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay?
Okay?
All right.
All right, that's what we're going to do. You want to make a motion?
So moved.
I'll second. Anyone comment?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Other correspondence. Park and Recreation Board minutes from September 10th, 2018. Lower Frederick Township Planning Commission minutes.
I'm sorry, Kevin. Could we do the park board member?
No, that's for later, the report.
For the person later.
That's okay.
We do that every time. Beg your pardon, we're going to move on.
Lower Frederick Township Planning Commission minutes of September 20th, 2018, and Plymouth Ambulance Association minutes or report of August 2018. Under number 3, under administrative actions, you'll see the information in your binder. Treasurer's report and bills to pay for September of 2018. If I could have a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Number 4, public comment. Anything on the agenda items?
Question.
I have something to say. My name's Lee Stevenson, and I live around the corner on Spring Mountain Road. And the one question in particular is, why does your sign out front say BOS? You know, for meetings, it should not read that. I had to ask a neighbor, what is BOS?
Where are the supervisors?
Yeah, but most people in the township would not know that. So when I was told that, then what I assumed that it was a meeting just for all the supervisors. It should read township meeting and the date. I think you'd have a lot more of a turnout too. BOS is, yeah, BOS, you know what it means, I didn't know. You know, a lot of people don't know, really. Should say township meeting.
I'm sorry, I just want to make one clarification. So this is the public comment period for agenda items. So if you could please limit your questions to agenda items. Thank you.
Bob?
Bob Burns, Centerville Road. Would you like me to wait until Carol's comment for the election system, or would you like me to ask a question then?
Yes, let's do it then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hearing none other, go to reports. Solicitor.
Thank you. This evening I'm trying to end a cold that Pop got from his grandchildren. So if you'll bear with me, please. Our office prepared and published several notices for zoning ordinances and land development ordinances, which are going to allow for electronic plans to be included, or require electronic plans to be included in the applications. We received the Creekside Arcadia plans and the development and escrow agreement and a bond in excess of $2 million. We reviewed them and filed the plans and development and escrow agreement in the Recorder of Deeds office. Our office also received a number of legal descriptions for items for which the township will need access, floodplains, and that sort of thing. Some land is to be dedicated to the township, and our office is working on preparing those easements and deeds. Our office also looked at the advertising requirements, if there were any, for a referendum to be added to the upcoming election, and there are none for the township to participate in. I worked with the township manager on several right-to-know requests. He's worked on almost a dozen this month. I reviewed the contract with Concord Financial, who is helping the township as to perhaps a refinance of the sewer loans. I prepared a letter for the newly appointed auditor to outlining her terms of office. I reviewed the Homeowners Association operating and other documents for Creekside Arcadia development, which the name has changed about 3 times, and I suspect it'll be a 4th. Reviewed the emergency access agreement to the Melbourne Hill development and the planning assistance contract from the Montgomery Planning Commission, and worked on Coble Park issues with the State Historic and Preservation Office. Thank you. I have one addition to my report, and that is Gordon Knipe has contacted me. He has a 2-lot subdivision, which he's been working on for some time. He has an 11-acre plot, and he's subdividing off 4 acres. He has drawn the plans, which have been drawn to the satisfaction of our township engineer. This board in June gave their preliminary and final approval for the subdivision, and Mr. Knipe is in the process of executing all the stormwater easements on the property. He would like to record the plan, and then he would like to put the matter on hold. The subdivision process for all has become longer and more expensive in the recent past, and he would like to put the stormwater improvements such as basin construction and those items on hold. The township has, for a small subdivision such as this, approved similar requests. In order to approve it, you would need to waive the requirement for it. There's a requirement that says that no final plan will be approved until the applicant has either completed all the improvements or provided an escrow deposit. I would say that it would be, it's within your power, and I would recommend that we give him that waiver and place a note on the plan which says financial security shall be posted and a professional services agreement executed with Lower Frederick Township to the satisfaction of the township solicitor prior to commencement of any site grading or improvements or construction of any type on Lot 2. And I would recommend that waiver to you.
So I have a question.
Yes.
It says in your description that we gave preliminary and final approval,
Yes.
but then in your waiver, it says no final plan shall be approved until. So that seems inconsistent.
No, that refers, it does appear to be inconsistent. It's bad language, but you can't do it that way. It just doesn't work. You need to, under the MPC, you need to do it the way we do it, which is give them final plan approval, and then they do the final plans, and nothing is really finalized until they record this plan. So you give the final plan approval, and that gives them the ability to write up the plan, but it's not instigated, it's not in play until the plans are recorded.
Is there a time limit on this waiver of final approval?
No, he may never progress with it, but it creates a separate lot for him that he could possibly list for sale. Maybe the township engineer could add a word.
Simply because my voice is a little better tonight, maybe I'll jump in here. So the applicant was granted conditional final approval in June of this year. And so what that means is the township has accepted their plan and said you have to complete these steps to get to recording. And so those steps include approval of the sewage facilities planning module, which is in my report tonight. And it would normally include signing a development agreement that's prepared by the solicitor and posting a financial security for these improvements. So the discussion tonight is, would the board be willing to consider waiving the requirement for those financial guarantee? This is basically creating one new lot or one house. And the suggestion here is that if that were waived, that a contingency be that a note be added to the plan which says they have to post that financial security before they do any grading or site work on this property. So that would theoretically give the applicant the opportunity to have a separate lot, to hold a separate lot, and when he was ready to sell it, the new buyer who wants to actually build that house would post the escrow, post the security with the township. They'll do the stormwater management, the erosion control, and the driveway construction with that construction of the roads.
So in layman's terms, it's a pause.
Yes.
Yes, and the township is protected. So I'd ask if somebody would make that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Can I ask a question?
No, we're gonna do our motion in second, and then we'll take questions.
I'll second.
But if you approve it before.
No, we always take questions before we vote.
It's not approved till we all aye.
Okay.
Okay?
Any comments?
I have a comment. January graduate. The lot was granted a number of different waivers to maintain its consistency with the area that it's being built in. If you go to grant them this waiver to sell it to someone else, would they be held to those same conditional approvals?
Yes, this would go on the plan of record that's filed for this lot. It would be a note that says, financial security shall be posted and a professional services agreement executed with Lower Frederick Township to the satisfaction of the solicitor prior to commencement of any site grading or improvements construction on Lot 2 of this subdivision. So that would actually be on the plan of record.
Okay, and so, I mean, it's going to sound strange. One of the conditions was they didn't clear a line of sight and open the road up to the current legal size because it would not be in line with any other lots there.
This doesn't change anything.
Okay, and my concern would be a developer would come along and plop a house in there and just go and
No.
go fast and ignore all those things.
No, that
Okay.
won't happen.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah. And just to clarify for everybody, so the procedure is on any resolution, we have a motion, we have a second, and at that point we say, are there any questions?
Okay, sorry.
We're not going to rush through any votes without the opportunity for questions.
Thanks.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Okay. Moving on to the engineers.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
We all voted, we didn't vote yet on this question. Yes,
Bob Burns, Centerville Road. Mr. Keenan, you had mentioned that you reviewed the bond for Ragusa, or whatever you want to call it today.
Yes.
I believe Carol said in the past that it was $2.5 million. I believe you said $2 million.
I said, yes, it's in excess of $2 million.
So does the bond cover the 10% retainage as well? Because the retainage that the developers
Yes.
right now is only $20,000 instead of $250,000.
Yes, it does. It
It does.
covers a much larger retainage.
Thank you.
and yes, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. You good, Tom? You done?
Yes, thank you.
Moving on to the engineer's report, Carol.
All right, can everybody hear me? All right, a few things to cover tonight. I'm going to go right back to that Knipe subdivision that we just talked about, because we've got to address, the board should be addressing the sewage facilities planning tonight. So the Knipe subdivision, again, is a 2-lot subdivision, proposing 1 new home on Kratz Road. The project was conditionally approved in June, and tonight the board considers a resolution for sewage facilities planning in support of using an on-lot system to treat wastewater. And the resolution is a standard form that's provided by DEP, and I'll try to skip all the legal rigmarole and jump down to whereas Gordon Knipe has proposed the development of a parcel of land identified as the Knipe Minor subdivision and described in the attached sewage facilities planning module, and I have those packages right here, shall be served by individual on-lot systems, whereas Lower Frederick Township finds that the subdivision described in the attached sewage facilities planning module conforms to all applicable sewage-related zoning and other sewage-related municipal ordinances and plans, and to a comprehensive program of pollution control and water quality management. So the sewage facilities planning module was reviewed by the County Planning Commission, by the County Health Department, and by the Lower Frederick Township Planning Commission, and is now before you for authorization of this resolution. I'll pause there and give the board a moment to consider.
I just have a question. So does this mean that the on-lot sewage will also wait until later, or can they put that in now? Is this also part of the...
Well, they'll obviously need to put that in when a home is built, but I would expect that they would put that in when the home is built. That's correct.
That'll
Yeah.
wait. Okay.
Do you want a motion on that?
Yes, if you'd like to take action on the resolution, then I'll proceed.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions?
Yes.
Doris Swanson, South Station Road. I'd like to know what type of a system you're going to put it in there. Is it a small stream flow?
I believe it was an ordinary on-lot system with a sand mound, is my recollection. I can double check that for you, but it wasn't an unusual system, and it's entirely consistent with our sewage planning township-wide.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. The Livesey land development is a project along Gravel Pike opposite Little Road that was substantially completed more than 3 years ago. The applicant recently requested return of all escrow funds. My file documentation indicates there are outstanding items which remain to be addressed. Those items today were resent to the applicant with explanation that they must be addressed to close the project and release the escrow. General information, the Church Road water line, contractor for the Schwenksville Borough Authority has started work on Church Road to install a new water line. They intend to use directional drilling wherever feasible to install that new line. Informational notices have been sent by the authority to all impacted residents. The Arcadia development construction continues.